We all go through trials and tribulations in life where it doesn't feel like we can dig ourselves out, where we feel like there's no way out into bliss. And it's interesting how when we go through these things, it starts to build this strength, this inner love that we couldn't quite imagine before. And that's because of the pain that we endured. The love that exists in our universe is nothing short of absolute, pure love and amazingness. Although we're continually trying to figure it out, I think really it's as simple as getting back to loving ourselves, loving those around us, and feeling into the oneness that we actually are. Now, in this last 20 months, I've had the most painful, sad, heartbreaking, emotional time in my life. And this is a documentary of the retreat that saved my life. So I hope you enjoy, and at the end, you will understand why I am here today. The video really doesn't do it justice, but you can see all those hills off in the distance, and then on the right side as well. The view just, it's amazing from here. And we have made it. Here is the treatment center. Really cool little house here. Just got done with day 1 of 7 on my biosanctuary retreat here in Hill Country, Austin, Texas. I am doing this in an effort to clear my body up of mycotoxins from mold. It was a really good day. They cleared my blood out. They did a 5-pass ozone therapy, I believe is what it was called. Essentially, they take your blood and clean your or oxygenate your blood and put it back in your body. I also did some intravenous light therapy. I did the PEMF machine, PEMF. I don't know if you've heard of that, but it's pulse electromagnetic field is what it stands for. I did the Hocket machine, which has a lot of backing to it. Throughout the day, I think I only had maybe 1 or 2 challenges. I just, when I was in the Hocket machine, I was not feeling good for some reason. I think I had gotten too much, or I had breathed in some CO2, which made it hard to breathe. But now I'm feeling good. I had 2 smoothies. One of them was more of a sweet smoothie. The other one was just a bunch of vegetables. And then I ate a lot of sauerkraut and bone broth. So that's my first day. I can show you tomorrow. There's a little community out here that you can rent cabins in, and that's what I'm in right now. See you tomorrow. Day 2 complete. The Hocket machine was a little bit easier today. I'm just tired. I'm really tired. Tomorrow, a little bit of the same. My treatment coordinator told me that I definitely have mold toxicity, and I got hit with it pretty hard. And I had, on one of my tests, I had high iron marks, with one other thing, and it pretty much just, she said my muscles like depleting essentially, and that's a sign of things just not functioning correctly. And she said the mold is kind of taken over, but she said we'll get rid of it if you do have mold toxicity, or you suspect you do. She explained it to me exactly how I was feeling, and it was like the tiger's always out. You're always feeling like a tiger's coming after you. It's kind of like that fight or flight. You're always feeling like you're in fight or flight with all the racing thoughts, and that's kind of definitely how I felt through this whole process. I'm ready. It's been good the last couple of days. I haven't had as many thoughts. And did my first NAD today, which was interesting. When she intensified the amount that was being dripped, I could definitely feel it flushing. It was getting super intense. I did Hape, I think is what it's called. A plant medicine from South America, which was interesting. I feel like it kind of takes me out a little bit. I do get a quick burst of really, really nice peace from it and tranquility. And then after it kind of passes, I start to feel a little bit like, you know. And then I hop onto the PEMF machine after that, listen to some music and whatnot. But yeah, you can definitely tell that my body is just like expelling of everything. It's definitely exhausting, and I'm ready to go to bed. I was tired at 5 o'clock but I stayed up a little while. So yeah, I'll show you around once I get some time around the campground I'm at. Other than that, that's all I got for you. Don't want to bore you too much. We'll go on to day 3 tomorrow, and peace out. Day 3, all complete. I feel really good today. I don't know how much weight I've lost through this whole process. I have tried not to look at it, but I would assume I'm substantially weighing much less than I have at my norm. And so I'm just trying to focus on, getting better, the health side of things, and then the build up after that, which will also be another challenging thing. But I've done it before, so I can do it again. With the scientist / doctor that is running the clinic, she went over some health stuff with me, and I can kind of run through that on the screen here in a few minutes, and show you kind of what we're fixing and how the mold has affected my body. But we also went over nutrition, kind of what I've been following when I'm here, and then what foods I can eat for the 30 days after this, and then also what foods I can eat following that 30 days from the 30 to 60 day mark. So again, it just comes down to discipline. And tomorrow I will be doing, I guess the next 2 days I'll be doing a water fast, which I've never done before. And so that will be very interesting to see how I react from that perspective. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that, kind of, maybe sort of. It's all going to help me out in the end. So I will show you my lab results quick and just kind of talk about those. I'm not going to go through these in detail, but I guess the most glaring issues in my blood test were the creatinine being high, the bilirubin being high, and then also the iron being high. Everything else seems to be pretty low, on the low end of the reference ranges. So essentially how Janita had explained it to me, and Janita is the director and scientist slash doctor for this clinic, and she said the creatinine and the bilirubin being high, as well as the iron being high, shows that my kidneys aren't functioning great, and the rest of my organs are essentially not functioning at peak capacity. And it sounds like there's more iron in my blood, so it's not absorbing as much. So it's creating muscle deterioration, I guess, which is not a good thing and was not fun to hear. And that was a sign with the creatinine and the bilirubin. I think I stated that that's more of a kidney type of thing. We went through a diet plan to get me back and built up. So I'm excited to go through that. And we also went through just kind of some, nutrition stuff that we've been doing already. Day 4, starting my fast today. I'm feeling good. I was able to get that meditation in first thing in the morning and take a walk, so that was nice. Really nice day out. This is my first time fasting again, like I said, so we're gonna head on over to the clinic and get this thing rolling. Never been to Hill Country here out in Austin, Texas, you should definitely visit. It's super beautiful. Yeah, it's just a really cool spot to be, and there's a lot of hikes and all that. So we're about 2 minutes away here from the retreat center. Day 4 of fasting here. Not day 4 of fasting, but day 1 of fasting, day 4 of retreat. Done for the day. From the retreat, I'm surprised I'm here. I'm really tired, but I'm gonna take a hike. Yeah, director, she said, if your body doesn't have anything to burn, and you've got mold in your body, it'll feed off the mold and it'll burn the mold, which is very interesting. All right, I'm gonna be going down this trail. Here's one of those cabins. I don't know I think that one's called Imagination. All the cabins at the place I'm staying at, they have different names to them. The one I'm in is Wisdom. It's getting dark, so I don't want to be out here too long. Like the Blair Witch Project or something. This is really cool that they have this. And what I've been told is that the grounds people and the people that work here, they made all these trails. There's a bridge right here that they built. This is so cool. Look at this. I'm gonna head back to the cabins because it's starting to get really dark. We are back. And a really nice sunset. Now that I'm up here, I haven't had a chance to really show you guys this place, but essentially they have cabins all around. I'm gonna take you over here. They have a store and a tribe market. That's pretty cool, so I'll show you that really quick. Before I do that, they do have showers. My cabin's right behind there, the black one, and I just shower outside in the morning, which is amazing. Here's a little store that they have. It's based on the honor system. You just Venmo or cash, whatever. Really cool idea. And they've got a freezer, fridge. You can grab anything you want to go. Microwave and coffee maker over there. As you can see, they have their Venmo. We go inside the tribe market so you guys can see this thing. It's a little store where people can bring their stuff to sell. It's really cool. Really cool. I'll show you what my cabin looks like. We got the little, two cats coming around. And here's the cabin. Really cool. Just a little cabin. There's my pillow that I brought. Make sure I could sleep well. But yeah, that's that. Of fasting. Shower outside in the cold this morning. 50 some degrees. Yeah, it's cold, it's brisk. Day 5 of the retreat, day 2 of fasting. If you've never done fasting before, you definitely want to drink water, a lot of water. I'm feeling pretty good. I feel clear, but I'm not like dizzy or anything. My only advice is when you're drinking water, don't just drink any water. What I've learned is you want to drink water like reverse osmosis and then put salt brine in it. And there's a certain salt you want to get. It's a Himalayan sea salt. However, I guess a lot of the Himalayan sea salt is broken apart by explosives, which there's going to be a lot of heavy metals in those explosives. In that, in turn, in that salt as well. So you want to really make sure that you're getting a specific brand of sea salt that doesn't go through that process. And then the brine is made by setting that salt into a specific amount of water, and then you use that little amount that has been created to put into a water glass, essentially. So that's how that works. And the reason you want to do that is because it's live water, it's living water instead of just dead water. Most of the water that we drink is dead water. It doesn't have all the minerals and all that stuff that we need for our body. And our body especially needs good sodium, live water. I know that probably is a foreign concept for a lot of people because it was for me before I started this. But yeah, it's really important that we consume that type of water. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm heading over to Cynthia's. She's kind of like also another energy healer type. And she has the Hocket as well, which I'm going to be using. So this will be my last thing for today. I'm still feeling pretty well. I can tell I'm just really wanting food or something, more energy. But at the end of the day there, I got a double dose of vitamin C and glutathione, I think is what it was, that she gave me, which is a strong antioxidant. Every estate here seems like it's a ranch. As we're driving on over to Cynthia's, really cool areas, a lot of really cool houses, so I'm excited to drive through this area because I've never been through this specific area before. Come here. Come here. Come on.
So I see those little black spots?
Yeah.
That's an infection in your red blood.
Oh, interesting.
The darker spots, mold.
Yeah, wow. heading back to Cynthia's now to do another live blood analysis. Finally got to eat today. Felt good, but I don't really have much of an appetite, really, which is normal. The 10 pass that we just did will have gotten rid of most of the rest of the bad stuff in my blood. The biggest thing now is just building my gut back up, my gut flora, making sure I'm eating well, putting the right stuff in it.
I'm not gonna die.
Yeah.
I have seen some people where there's just nothing.
That was the end of day 6. I just made it back to my cabin, pretty tired. I got to hang out with Cynthia's horses at the end of the day. She's got 2 horses and 1 dog. One dog named Lucy and 1 horse named Lucy. The other horse, not sure what its name is. No named horse, did not want to be a pet, so I did not get to know that one very well. Yeah, she uses the horses for therapy with people that are really, really sick. So it's just kind of cool to hang out with them and feed them at the end of the day. But other than that, we will see you tomorrow. Deuces. Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, so going into the 5th day of the retreat, I didn't record because that morning I had gotten a message from the coordinator, and she said to me that there was an opportunity to do a ceremony that night. And she explained to me that it was Bufo, and I was aware of it. I had heard about it, and I knew it was considered the God molecule, but I had no idea that where I live, especially, and even on this retreat, I didn't know if this was something that I would experience in my lifetime. You would never expect it. That's why I'm going to say right now before this, don't go out seeking for it. It's a powerful medicine, and it'll come to you whenever you're supposed to be with it. Anybody who has taken it will tell you the same. Those of you that have forced and, tried to go to big groups, whether it's Tulum or other parts of Mexico, the Sonoran Desert, wherever it is, those big groups, it can be dangerous because there's really no opportunity to speak to anybody afterwards that has experience in this stuff, with this stuff. So yeah, I was presented with it earlier in the morning, and that's kind of why I didn't film that day. And really until now, I'm feeling comfortable talking about this. But this one experience changed my life forever. And how I like to think of it now is this happened for a reason. Everything is set in stone. It's set in the stars. It's written in the stars. It's written in the universe. And it gives me goosebumps thinking about it. because of how powerful it was for my life, especially at this moment in time. During that last day, I remember thinking, or even the last couple of days, like I want to go home to see my family. I was not sure if I was gonna, make it up to them in the Midwest. I knew there was going to be more work to be done because you can just intuit it in your body. And I wasn't sure if I was going to make it. There was a lot of stuff going on in my head. I had like really deep suicide ideation. I was scared a lot of just random normal things. So later on in that day, I let them know that let me feel into it. Let me just pray. And if it's a no, I'll get a no. If it's not, then yeah, I'll take part in the ceremony. So I sat there with myself 2 hours before the ceremony, and I kept just like praying, and they said to leave an intention. And my intention was I didn't want to be fearful of anything anymore. Right as they asked me if I wanted to continue with it, I said, yeah, I haven't gotten, it's just peaceful. I was a little bit fearful because you don't know what's going to happen, but it wasn't fear in the way of like, oh, this is going to be dangerous. It was just the unknowing. And I think we fear the unknowing a lot, and always trying to control things, right? So Cynthia, who was the shaman that was there, she did a Reiki session on me, an energy session with my body. And she had been speaking this other language, and I wasn't quite sure what she was saying. It was nothing that I had ever experienced before. She was like speaking in tongues. And so we go to the living room. It's just the two of them, Cynthia and Janita. Janita is the director of the retreat, and Cynthia's, the shaman. She was the one I went to hawk it with. She had those horses, and she does energy work, obviously. And so I went to the living room, and they had a really good setup for me. They had some bowls, some singing bowls. They had like a meditation mat, because when you take this stuff, you fall back. And so they just have to make sure that everything's safe. And so when I started taking it, I was sitting kind of cross-legged, and I was super comfortable. So, we get prepped, and my heart's beating, it's racing. And Janita, she goes and gets the first dose, and she asks how I'm feeling. They're very good about holding space. That's in any type of experience like this, you need people who are going to be holding you with grace and holding you in a space that is loving and supportive. And so they helped me feel really, really safe in that moment. And I took the first dose. It's like a test dose to see where your capacity is, like if however much they actually need to give you to go in the space. And I did the first dose, and it was just, I could see fractals, like sacred geometry. is the best way to describe it. Just faintly. Didn't fall back or anything, didn't go to a different realm. And then Janita said, "You've got really good lungs. We need to get you a higher dose." And so upon the second dose, go into this experience that you will see here shortly that I tried to simulate and help you understand what it's like. Before I do that, just to kind of preface you, Bufo alvarius is a toad, and there's a venom that they have that has 5-MeO-DMT in it. Not the same as DMT, much stronger. This is the strongest psychedelic that we are aware of right now on Earth. I would have to say there's probably something else out there that we don't know about, due to the fact that, from my experience, I would have to think these types of gateways are in a lot of different places and a lot of different things, plants, animals, whatever you want to call it. And so anyways, what they do is they take that the venom from the toad, and they solidify it, and it goes into like a crystal form, and then you smoke it, kind of like you would out of a pipe or a bong. And you have to hold that white smoke. It's white smoke. You have to hold that white smoke in. I had to hold it in for like a minute straight. And Janita was the one who was helping me, and she just kept reassuring me, just keep holding, keep holding. She knew exactly where I was going. And that's where the simulation will take place here in a minute or two. So when I got to the end of this experience, you'll see that I go into a different realm. And the best way I can describe it is like Avatar. I instantly knew that I was connected to everybody and everything, without a doubt. I started speaking another language, which you'll see. It's essentially, they call it the light language, which is what Cynthia was speaking when she was doing Reiki to me. And she has a whole other story, but I woke up, and from the experience, and the first thing I said from everything was, "It's everything I thought it was. And it's pure love." As I took in the second dose, my guide and I pierced eyes, and she just kept guiding me to hold it in and keep sucking in and holding in. And I began to fall back in a clouded state. And before I knew it, I started to hear the deepest Om I could ever possibly imagine. The vibrations went through my body, and I knew it was from a deeper source. Fear started to overcome me as darkness took over. And I felt like I was shooting out of a rocket and into a tunnel. There was something in the distance, and it was a light. As soon as I saw the light, my arms went back, my heart started to explode forward over my body and overtook me, and then I was being told, "You are loved times infinite." Imagine it as the biggest energetic hug you could ever imagine, and just knowing that you're loved infinitely. This was God. This was God. There's no doubt in my mind. And after that, I was shot out into space, into the abyss. As I floated amongst the constellations, I started to fade into another dimension. Wait, no way. What the hell?
Bad man carrying a vibe. T-Fame one time for the vibe, yo. Every woman talk alone, but so reason to be down. Every look at them do got me counting my blessings. For the air that I breathe from my friends and my families. Bad man, I feel going with it, but I swear I'm not stressing. Cause you see where we are coming from. Like a once a one day I young done. Once a link I'm so not to sundown. Praying that the blessings that come down. I know, you know where I belong. 6 foot below, that's where no one wanna be. I should be woke up feeling grateful. God could do this, and then I must get the job in life.